I woke up in my best friend's body, screaming her name, while she lounged in mine at a penthouse party, toasting to the life she'd stolen. The doctor called it a freak accident, a lab explosion during our underground neural research gig, but I knew better. It was no accident when the only witness was the man who funded it all. My lover, smirking from the shadows. By dawn, I'd already plotted his end. Not with a gun, but with the slow poison of truth, starting with burning every bridge he thought was ironclad. I never believed in soul swaps or body-snatching bullshit from those late-night sci-fi flicks we'd binge on cheap Merlot and microwave pizza.
Elena Vasquez.
That's me, or was me, 32, sharp as a switchblade, clawing my way up in Chicago's cutthroat biotech scene. Born in Pilsen to immigrant parents who scrubbed floors so I could chase degrees in neuroscience. I was the American dream incarnate. First-gen Latina, PhD by 28. Headhunted by Innovatech for their black-budget neural mapping project. We were supposed to revolutionize memory therapy, unlock Alzheimer's ghosts, make billionaires cry happy tears over grandma's forgotten recipes. Instead, it unlocked hell. It started 6 months ago, in the sterile bowels of Innovatech's Loop headquarters. My team, me, leading the charge, Dr.
Markus Halle.
The Silver Fox venture capitalist who bankrolled us and warmed my bed, and Riley, my ride-or-die roommate from grad school, the bubbly redhead with a laugh like wind chimes and a brain for code that rivaled mine. We called ourselves the Trinity, ironic now, huddled over humming servers, mapping neural pathways like cartographers of the mind. Marcus promised the moon, FDA approval, Nobel whispers, a corner office with a view of the Sears Tower. He delivered on the whispers first, his hand on my thigh under conference tables, his voice in boardrooms calling me the future. But futures crack. One night, deep in the witching hour, Riley and I were testing the prototype, a helmet rigged with quantum entanglement tech, meant to sync two brains for empathy trials. Imagine feeling your patient's pain, Marcus had pitched, eyes gleaming like he was selling snake oil to saints. We strapped in me in the primary rig, Riley secondary, joking about swapping headaches instead of insights. The hum built to a whine. Lights flickered like a bad acid trip. And then boom. Not an explosion.
Exactly.
But a rift. Like God hit delete and copy-paste at once. I came to in recovery. Monitors beeping like angry hornets. But the body under the sheets wasn't mine. Pale freckles on hands that should be olive-toned. Green eyes staring back from the mirror instead of my warm brown. Riley's body. I clawed at the sheets, screaming her name until her voice cracked. Nurses swarmed. Marcus burst in, face a mask of concern, cradling me, my real body, Elena's, with Riley's soul puppeteering it, whispering comforts I couldn't hear over the roar in my head. Neural feedback loop, the docs muttered later. Charts scribbled with jargon that boiled down to impossible. Quantum entanglement gone haywire. Souls or essences. If you want to sound scientific, swapped mid-sync. Reversible? Maybe. With time and tweaks. But Marcus pulled strings. Hushed it up. National security, he claimed, citing patents and NDAs thicker than my abuela's tamales. Riley in my skin hugged me tight that first night, tears streaming down my cheeks from her eyes. We'll fix this.
El.
Promise. Her voice. But my inflections. It twisted my gut. Weeks blurred into a nightmare funhouse. I moved into her shoebox apartment in Wicker Park, dodging her barista shifts at that hipster joint on Milwaukee Avenue. fumbling with her phone full of Tinder ghosts and poetry slams. My old life, locked down. Marcus installed security, cameras, guards, a tracker app on both our wrists, like we were lab rats who'd bolted the maze. He visited nightly, slipping into bed with me, but his eyes lingered on this body, Riley's, with a hunger that made my stolen skin crawl. "You're still you," he'd murmur, but his hands mapped curves that weren't mine, and I'd bite back bile, plodding in silence. The betrayal hit like a freight train on a foggy morning commute. I'd suspected Marcus's side hustles, whispers of off-books trials, payoffs to regulators, but proof buried deep. One evening, holed up in Riley's flat, nursing a hangover from cheap IPAs, I hacked her laptop. Password, our old inside joke. Trinity rules. Files spilled, encrypted folders labeled, Eclipse protocol. Heart pounding. I cracked them with a backdoor I'd coded years ago. The kind that makes cybersecurity bros weep. Eclipse wasn't therapy. It was weaponization. Marcus, that smug prick, had twisted our work into a black ops dream. Neural overrides for interrogations, loyalty implants for corporate spies. And the test subjects? Homeless vets from the South Side, undocumented folks vanished from Ticarius, kids from juvie halls. Dozens, their scans archived like cattle tags. But the kicker, the soul swap glitch? Not a glitch. Intentional. Marcus had juiced the rig, aiming to transfer essences from undesirables to elite clients. Immortality hacks for the 1%. And Riley? She'd known. Emails. Time-stamped months back. Phase 2 greenlit. Elena's the perfect vessel. Trusting. Brilliant. We'll swap her out post-trial. Pin the bodies on her. My best friend. Selling my shell for a cut of the pie. Marcus's pie. They'd betted each other in my body before the swap, laughing over champagne about upgrading me. Rage isn't hot, it's ice. Cold calculus in my veins as I deleted traces, wiped the drive, and slipped out into the night. Chicago swallowed me, L trains rattling like judgment, wind off the lake whipping my borrowed hair. I needed leverage. Allies. A way back. But first, survival. I dyed Riley's red to black. Cropped it short. Traded her vintage tees for hoodies from the thrift bins on Division Street. Became Lena, crashing on a cousin's couch in Little Village, dodging calls from myself that buzzed with pleas turning to threats. The secret festered. Turns out, the crime I bore wasn't just the swap, it was the cover-up. Those test subjects? Dead or worse. Their essences scattered in prototype fails. Marcus pinned the lab accident on me. Elena Vasquez. The reckless lead. Falsified logs showing I'd overridden safeties for personal gain. My name smeared in internal memos. My bank accounts frozen on embezzlement wraps. Riley, in my skin, played the grieving survivor, testifying to boards how I'd cracked under pressure. Deep betrayal? That's Shakespearean. My lover and sister in arms, carving out my heart while wearing my face. Power like Marcus's is a hydra. Cut one head, two grow. Innovateca's tentacles in D.C., Silicon Valley, even the mobbed-up unions running the ports. He was untouchable, a kingpin in khakis, golfing with senators while I scavenged ramen from food pantries. But I had Riley's quirks, her eidetic memory for code, her underground hacker circles from those anarchist zines she hoarded. I reached out. Anonymous drops on dark web forums, Eclipse whistleblower seeks collab. Replies trickled, ex-employees ghosted by NDAs. Families of the Vanished. A rogue journalist from the Tribune sniffing scandals. My first controversial call? Framing Riley. Not kill, I'm no monster, but expose. I leaked snippets. Audio of her gloating in my voice. Elena's out. I'm in, finally the star. Posted to a burner Reddit thread in r/Chicago Conspiracy. Watched it virally mutate into podcasts and TikToks. Body double drama at biotech giant. The comments exploded. Who is the real Elena trending? Karen's clutching pearls over stolen identities. Riley in my body went radio silent, her socials scrubbed, but Marcus's PR machine churned denials, painting me as the unhinged imposter. Tension coiled like a spring in Grant Park, under the shadow of that giant being reflecting my fractured self. I met my first ally there, Jax, a grizzled ex-Marine, one of the undesirables who'd survived a partial swap, half his memories erased, walking with a phantom limp. They took my rage. Vasquez, he growled over black coffee from a food truck, his eyes hollow as the loop's underbelly. But I got fragments back. Enough to burn 'em. Jax had muscle, a network of vets, off-grid in abandoned warehouses by the river, printing pamphlets and cracking firewalls. We plotted in whispers, me and Riley's slight frame, feeling like a ghost in drag. The UM deepened with winter's bite. Snow blanketed the city like a shroud, muffling screams from the projects where more recruits vanished. I dreamed in dual visions, my hands on scalpels, Riley's on keyboards, Marcus's on triggers. Woke sweating, the tracker scar on my wrist itching like accusation. Controversial decision numero dos, seduce an insider. Not Marcus, that bridge was ash, but his right hand, Lila, the CFO with a coke habit and a soft spot for redheads. I crashed her holiday gala at the Peninsula. Riley's charm dialed to 11, whispering sweet nothings over caviar that tasted like regret. Help me get my body back. I breathed in her ear, her perfume choking me. She bit, literally. Bruises blooming on this neck that wasn't mine, then spilled. Server locations. Kill switches. The reversal code buried in a Cayman vault. But secrets breed more secrets. Jax uncovered the chink. Marcus's daughter. Teenage prodigy interning at Innovatech. Oblivious to daddy's sins. Leverage, he said. But I recoiled. Kidnapping? Blackmail? That line blurred ethics into abyss. I paced frozen alleys, breath fogging like doubts, weighing innocence against my stolen pulse. In the end, I chose the gray, anonymous tips to her school counselor, planting seeds of doubt about family business. Controversial? Hell yes, ruining a girl's Christmas with whispers of paternal poison. But it worked. She hacked his home server in a teen tantrum, dumping terabytes to my Dropbox. Goldmine. Transaction logs tying Eclipse to CIA cutouts. Victim manifests. Even footage of the swap. Me convulsing in Riley's rig. Her smirking in mine. Climax brewed in the dead of February. City strangled by blizzards that grounded flights and iced roads. Marcus summoned me, Riley, to a summit at his Gold Coast mansion. All crystal chandeliers and hypocrisy. I tailed, heart hammering in this ribcage too small for fury, slipping past guards with Jax's forged badge.
Inside.
The air reeked of aged scotch and lies. I watched from vents, yeah. I went full Mission Impossible. Riley's yoga flexibility a godsend as they toasted Phase 3. Riley, in my face. Proposed scaling Eclipse nationwide, swaps for politicians. Essences harvested from prisons. Marcus nodded. Hand on her knee. The betrayal of fresh stab. I struck at midnight. No guns, too American Gothic for my taste. Instead, the virus, a worm Jax coded, laced with the reversal algorithm, unleashed via Lila's pilfered keycard. Alarms wailed like banshees as servers fried, data hemorrhaging to every news outlet from CNN to Breitbart. Leaks hit like a nuke. Biotech tycoons steal souls, Chicago horror. Reporters swarmed. Feds kicked doors. Marcus's empire crumbling in real-time tweets. I cornered Riley in the panic room, my real body across from this imposter, wearing it like a cheap Halloween mask. "You bitch," she hissed, my lips curling in her snarl. This was Mercy. Your life's a grind.
Mine za sparkler.
Mercy? I laughed. Riley's trill turning feral. You buried bodies in my name. Fucked my man in my skin. That's not theft, that's erasure. We grappled, fists and fury, until the reversal rig, jury-rigged in the basement lab, hummed to life. Strapped in, facing off, the rift tore open again. Pain like lightning through marrow, souls yanking like taffy. I felt her essence flood back, guilt, ambition, the petty jealousies she'd harbored since our first dorm room all night. And mine, slipping into home, my curves, my scars, the familiar weight of Elena. But twist, as clarity snapped, I saw it all. The swap, my fault. In hubris, I'd tweaked the safeties that night, chasing a breakthrough to impress Marcus, risking the sink without full calibs. Riley knew because I'd confessed over wine, begging her silence. Marcus exploited it. Yes, twisted it into a clips for profit, but the spark?
Mine.
The crime I bore? Self-inflicted, amplified by their greed. Betrayal deep, but mine cut deepest. Marcus burst and then, gun drawn, face twisted in the strobe of failing lights.
Elena?
How? I didn't hesitate. Controversial to the core, I shot him. Not with his piece, snatched from his holster, but with truth. It was me, Marcus. The glitch.
But you?
You turned it to genocide. Cops swarmed before he could fire. Cuffs clicking like karma. Riley swapped back. Crumpled, broken, exposed. Her sparkler doused. Epilogue, bittersweet ash. Innovatech raised. Headlines hailed me whistleblower saint. But trials dragged. Perjury raps for my tweaks. Civil suits from families. Jax vanished into witness protection. Lila rehabbed her way to a tell-all book deal. Riley did 6 months community. Emerged a shadow. Blogging apologies, no one reads.
Me?
Back in my skin. But scarred, therapy sessions in Wicker Park parks. Staring at the bean. Wondering if the swap stole more than flesh. Happy? Tragic? You tell me. I reclaimed my name, but the mirror still whispers doubts. Revenge rebuilt. Sure, but at what cost? In America, justice is a laundromat. Spins you clean, but the stains linger. And as spring thawed Chicago's veins, I walked the loop anew, free but forever fractured, debating if the swap was curse or cruel gift. Dawn broke over Lake Michigan like a guilty conscience, gray waves slapping the shore as if Chicago itself was trying to wash away the night's sins. I stood on the Adler Planetarium's edge. Riley's sneakers, now mine by default, crunching gravel. The city skyline a jagged accusation. My wrist throbbed where the tracker pulsed. A digital leash Marcus had synced to both bodies like some twisted soulmate app. I'd severed it last night with a box cutter from Riley's junk drawer. blood, hers, dripping onto the linoleum as I cauterized the wound with a lighter. Pain was clarity. It reminded me this flesh was borrowed. A Trojan horse for vengeance. Back in her apartment, the air hung heavy with patchouli incense and unwashed regret. Posters of Frida Kahlo and Riot Girl bands peeled from walls, mocking my displacement. I rifled drawers. Birth control pills I didn't need. A dog-eared copy of The Bell Jar, underlined in frantic pink. Riley's life. A collage of almost published poet, almost activist, almost enough for Marcus's wandering eye. Jealousy? Sure. But I'd never seen the venom till those files. Our friendship was cement. She'd cracked it for gold leaf. Phone buzzed. Burner I'd snagged from a bodega on Halstead. Text from Ghost Vet. Meet at the Blue Line underpass. 0600. Bring coffee. Not cops. Jax's handle. A nod to his service scars. I brewed Folgers strong as jet fuel. Black. And hustled out. Hood up against the chill that bit deeper than winter. The L rumbled overhead as I waited in the graffiti-veiled shadows. Trains shrieking like informants. Jax emerged from the fog, built like a fridge with a buzz cut and eyes that had seen Fallujah sunrises.
Ex-marine.
50-something. One of Eclipse's early volunteers, nabbed off a VA waiting room, promised PTSD cures, delivered partial wipes. Vasquez, he grunted, accepting the styrofoam cup like a truce. Steam curled between us, carrying whispers of the dead. Saw your leak. Ballsy. But sloppy. IP traces back to Wicker Park. Sloppy's my middle name now. I shot back. Riley's sarcasm a ill-fitting glove. What's your play? You call. I come running. He sipped.
Winced.
Play's mutual destruction. Eclipse took my squad, 4 brothers. Essences harvested for some spook's wet dream. I got fragments. Flashes of ops I never ran. Voices in my head ain't mine. His fist clenched. Coffee sloshing. Marcus hails the head.
Cut it. But it is.
We walked the tracks. Weeds clawing ankles. Plodding like prohibition bootleggers. Jax's network. Shadows in Cicero garages. Printing presses in Gary basements. Hackers in mom-and-pop basements from Albany Park to the suburbs. We hit data centers first. He mapped on a napkin. Access over Innovatex satellites in Naperville and Oak Brook. Then personal. Hale's yacht on the lake.
Weekend retreat in Door County.
Controversial crept in early. And the innocents? I pressed, thinking of Lila. The suits who signed paychecks blind. Jax's laugh was gravel. Innocents are collateral in this war.
Kid.
You want to swap back? Gotta burn the village. I swallowed that. The moral acid reflux. Back home, I deep-dived the dumps, victim files. Grainy mugshots of faces like mine brown.
Weary.
Forgotten. Maria Gonzalez. Snatched from a factory shift. Her essence slotted into a Wall Street wolf puppeteering her husk for negotiation training. Jamal Reed.
Wertlike jaks.
Mind frayed into compliance for black site guards. My mistake ignited this? The tweak I'd made. Amped entanglement to chase euphoria signals, eureka moments for therapy. But Marcus saw $signs. Riley ambition mirrors. I'd borne their sins. My name the Fall Guy. Logs forged to show Elena Vasquez as the mad scientist. Nights blurred into code binges. Fingers, Riley's nimble ones, flying over keys. I patched the worm, self-replicating. Keyed to quantum signatures. Reversal trigger embedded like a sleeper cell. but paranoia gnawed, shadows in doorways. Cars idling too long on Damon. One eve, as sleet lashed windows. A knock, Marcus. In my body?
No.
Riley, bold as brass, keying in with despair. Elena, her voice, my timbre, cracked the air. She looked wrecked, my dark hair lank, eyes hollowed by whatever guilt or glee festered inside. We need to talk. I backed to the kitchen, grabbing a chef's knife from the block, Riley's vegan phase. Dull but desperate.
Talk.
Like how you sold my soul for a corner office. She flinched, my features twisting in her pain. It wasn't Marcus pushed. Said it'd fix everything. Make us gods. Your tweak. You told me.
Él.
In confidence. I thought it was a gift.
Gift.
Knife trembled. You wore me like a prom dress. Fucked him in my bed. That's not friendship. That's parasitism. Tears, mine, tracked her cheeks. I loved you. Still do. Let me fix it. Reversals ready, off books. In the sublevels. Come back. We'll expose him together. Lies slithered like lake snakes. I saw the wire in her sleeve. The app glow on her palm. Trap. Controversial choice 3. Trust or torch. I lunged not to kill, but disarm. Knife clattering as we tumbled. Riley's slight frame pinning my real strength. Fists flew, nails raking, until I pinned her, breath ragged. Tell Marcus hi. Then. Syringe from my pocket, sedative Jack's sourced from a shady dock, plunged into her thigh.
My thigh.
She slumped, out cold. I stripped the wire, smashed the phone, bound her with extension cords. Then, the upload, live stream from her account. Me and her body mouthing confessions.
I'm really Kane.
And I've stolen Elena Vasquez's life. Eclipse is real, souls for sale. Views spiked, 10K, 50K. Viral venom. Comments a cesspool, deep fake. Girl boss gone wrong?
Latina drama, predictable.
By morning, feds circled Innovatech. Subpoenas raining like confetti at a funeral. Marcus's stocks tanked. His face, smug bastard, plastered on Fox loops denying conspiracy nonsense. Riley woke zip-tied, bargaining tears. Please.
Él.
He's got dirt on us both. Dirt. I leaned close, her green eyes wide in my brown ones. You are the dirt. Dropped her at a precinct doorstep. A gift-wrapped rat. Jax met me at a dive on Irving Park. Neon buzzing luckies like false hope. Streams gold. Hails scrambling, private jet to Zurich tonight. We toasted with well whiskey. Fire in bellies. But doubt flickered. My tweak. The original sin. Was revenge justice? Or just swapping graves? The heist brewed. Naperville Data Farm. Razor wire. Armed rent-a-cops. Servers humming like beehives. Jax's crew, 5 vets in black tactical. Faces painted camo, breached at 0200. Suppressed pops echoing in cornfields. I was ghost, slipped in via HVAC. Riley's frame squeezing ducks like a bad spy novel. Heart jackhammered as I jacked the mainframe. Worm deploying in cascades of code. Alarm silent, my kill switch, but guards swarmed. Boots thumping. One cornered me in the server aisle. Flashlight blinding. Freeze. Bitch. Youth. Acne scarred. Shaking. Controversial fork. Kill or convert. I dropped low. Whispered. Eclipse took my brother. Help, or join the ghosts. He hesitated long enough for Jax to zip-tie him. Go, Jax hissed. Kids green, he'll fold. We exfiltrated heavy. Drives yanked. Hard copies stuffed in duffels. Back in the city, rain sheeting windshields, we decrypted in a safe house off Kedzie, peeling wallpaper. Cots smelling of despair. Bombshells. Marcus's ledgers. Bribes to senators. Riley's cut wired to offshore shells. And photos, me.
Pre-swap.
Laughing with them at a rooftop bar. Oblivious. My mistake. Their empire. Word count clawed toward crescendo. Lila reached out next. Post-gala hookup haunting her. Coffee at a Starbucks in River North. Her manicure tapping latte foam. He's spiraling, she murmured. Eyes darting to suits on phones. Daughter found the files, teen meltdown.
Called the school shrink.
Hale's covering. But crack show. I probed. Reversal code, where? Caymans. But Elena. It's not clean. Side effects. Memory bleed. Essence dilution.
You might not be.
All you. The warning lodged like bone. But momentum's a drug. We escalated. Yacht raid. Marcus's plaything. Eclipse 2, moored off Navy Pier. Party lights mocking the dark lake. Jax's boat, stolen Chris-Craft, cut engines at 2,300. We boarded silent as sharks. Guests, tech bros, models, coke lines on teak rails. I mingled. Riley's Flirta-weapon. Spiking drinks with amnesiacs from Jax's kit. Marcus spotted me. Her, across the deck. Eyes narrowing. Riley? Thought you were grounded. Surprise, I purred. Close enough to smell his cologne, same as on my pillows. Hand on his chest. I palmed the USB worm, slipping it into his jacket pocket. For old times. He grabbed my wrist hard. What's your game?
Chess.
You're the pawn. Chaos erupted. Jax's flashbangs. Vets zip-lining aboard. Shouts cutting music.
Guests dove overboard.
Shrieks swallowed by waves. Marcus bolted below. Me tailing. Heels, Riley's stilettos, clacking like countdowns. In the master suite. He barricaded. Phone to ear. Extract now. I kicked the door. Wood splintering. It's over. Marcus. Leaks are live. Your donor's bailing. Feds inbound. He whirled. Pistol drawn, gleaming nickel. My birthday gift from last year. You? In her skin?
Impossible.
Possible enough. I circled. Cat to mouse. The tweak was mine. Ambition's folly.
But you?
You built the slaughterhouse.
His laugh chilled.
And you'd burn it for what? Your precious morality? America runs on this.
Elena.
Power's the only soul that matters. Bullet whizzed, grazed my shoulder. Riley's blood hot.
I dove?
Tackling. Gun skittering. Fists, his rings splitting her lip. Then Jax burst in. Rifle but cracking Marcus's skull.
Down.
Not dead.
Cuffed.
We dragged him topside. Lake wind whipping confessions. But the twist teased, as sirens wailed distant. Marcus spat blood. Grinning. You think it's me? Riley's the architect, your bestie coded the overrides. Pinned it on you to cover her tracks. Lies? Or lightning? Doubt forked my resolve as choppers thumped horizon. We'd won the battle. But the war's fog thickened. Sirens carved the night like scalpels. red-blue veins pulsing across the Black Lake as Coast Guard cutters sliced toward the yacht. Jax's crew melted into speedboats, duffels heavy with Hale's sins. While I lingered on deck, Marcus's glare pinning me like a specimen slide. Blood trickled from my shoulder, Riley's rotator cuff straining, staining the teak a Rorschach of rage. "You'll rot for this," he wheezed. Zip ties biting wrists, a king dethroned in silk pajamas. "Rotten started when you played God," I shot back, Riley's lilt laced with my venom. Jax hauled him to the rail. We ziplined last, plunging into icy spray that shocked lungs awake. Back on the Chris-craft, engines roaring south to hidden slips by the Calumet, Marcus slumped in the bilge, babbling. "Riley. She masterminded. Emails, check the backups. Your tweak was bait. She rigged the swap to test overrides on you. Poison words.
Burrowing.
I'd seen her files. But architects?
No.
Yet seeds planted. Her confessions too pat. Her pleas too timed. As we beached in the industrial sprawl, rusted silos looming like judges, I cuffed him to a bollard, gagged with duct tape tasting of salt failure. "We'll verify," Jax grunted, crew dispersing to burner phones and bolt holes. "You watch him. I'll hit the archives." Alone with my captor, wind moaning through chain link, I paced the pier, waves lapping like unanswered questions. Chicago's underbelly breathed here, freighters groaning cargo from ghosts of steel mills, distant trains keening loss. My phone, Riley's cracked screen, lit with alerts, eclipse exposed exploding. Victims' families on CNN. Marcus's board resigning in droves. Stock ticker bled red. His empire a house of ash. But verification gnawed. I grilled him through the gag. Emails where? Muffled snarls. Eyes promising hell.
Kontroversial pivot. Tortur lite.
I pressed the gray's wound. His muffled yelp symphony. Talk. Or swim with the fishes. Your yacht's sinking metaphor. He bucked, finally mumbling coordinates, encrypted drive in his Gold Coast safe. Combo my birthday. Ironic. Dawn crept, smoggy pink. As I hotwired a beater from the lot, Riley's parking skills a perk, and gun north. Traffic snarled on the Dan Ryan, semis belching exhaust like accusations. Gold Coast gleamed, doormen in crisp wool, poodles prancing leashes. Marcus's penthouse, top of the John Hancock, key under mat like Trust's corpse. Inside, minimalist hell, white leather, Warhol knockoffs, a bar stocked with scotch older than my regrets. Safe cracked, click of tumblers like vertebrae snapping, spilling drives. Plugged into Riley's laptop. Files unfurled. Project Doppelganger. Riley's SIG on overrides. Timestamps predating my tweak. Chats, Marcus. Elena's perfect, trusts us blind. Swap her. Harvest data. Frame the glitch. Her words, casual as grocery lists. Betrayal's abyss yawned. Not pawn.
Queen.
She'd courted Marcus moons before. My confidant roll her cover. The tweak confession her insurance. Nausea roiled, Riley's stomach churning my fury. I'd borne it all. The smear, the vanishings, souls shattered on her altar. My mistake fueled, but her hands pulled levers. I smashed the drive, shards glittering like broken mirrors. Then torched the place, lighter fluid from the bar. Flames licking drapes in orange apology. Sirens wailed as I fled. Fire trucks blooming red in rear view. My exit a phoenix scar on the skyline. Jax rendezvoused at the safe house. a brick husk in back of the yards. Stockyards ghosts in the air. Truth, he asked, passing jerky from MREs. Uglier than sin. I spilled. His nod grim. Riley's the snake. We take her next. Plan coalesced. Lure and lash. Riley in my body. Hold up in a motel off Cicero. Low-rent anonymity. Her viral infamy forcing flight. Jax's scout tailed, her buying burner sims at a currency exchange. Glancing over shoulders like prey turned predator. We hit at dusk.
Crew in unmarked van.
Me lead, Riley's face her perfect disguise. Motel reeked of Lysol and despair, neon vacancy buzzing lies. Room 12.
Door Ayar.
TV droning Fox News on eclipse fallout. She paced inside, my curves in yoga pants. Hair in a messy bun that used to be my comfort, muttering into a phone. Yes. Transfer the funds, Grand Cayman.
Now.
I kicked in. Jax flanking. Pistol steady. Hang up.
Cease.
Family reunion. Her head snapped, my neck crick familiar, eyes widening in mirror shock.
Elena? In.
Oh God. God's on vacation.
Iolstered, non-lethal.
Taser this time. Crew securing exits. She backed to the bed. Spring's squeaking protest. It was business.
El.
You were stagnating mid-level drone. I elevated us. Elevated, laughter barked.
Ugly.
You erased me. Wore my skin to parades. Pin murders on my name. Those families, Maria, Jamal, they suffered for your business. Tears my ducks spilled. Collateral. Marcus promised clean swaps. But he botched. I fixed. Fixed by framing me? Taser hummed warning. Jax cuffed her. The click echoing my cell doors slamming. Drive to the warehouse. Silent. Tension thick as fog off the river. There, in concrete vastness lit by sodium lamps, we strapped her to a chair, industrial, bolted, from old meatpacking days. Interrogation, Jax's wheelhouse, velvet glove over iron. The code, reversal full.
Spill.
Or we dissect. She resisted, lips sealed, but crack showed, waterboarding light with lake water. Cold snaps, shocking confessions. Cayman's vault. Biometric, your print.
Elena.
But side effects. You'll bleed memories. Mine into you. Yours into ether. The cost, controversial calculus. Accept the taint, her essence lingering like STD of the soul. Or stay trapped. Riley's ghost haunting mirrors? Jax pressed. Do it. Purity's for saints, we're sinners. Riley laughed through shivers. My face manic. You'll thank me. My life's better, poise.
Power.
Yours? Grit and grind. Chasing Poppy's approval. Sting true, my parents. Deported dreams in their eyes. Pushing be doctor. Mija. Not dreamer.
Ide chaza.
But Riley's spark? Envy's whisper. Yet no. My grit built empires. Her schemes toppled them. We prepped the rig, salvaged from Innovatech raid. Humming ominous in the warehouse gloom. Strapped facing. Helmet sinking. The hum built like migraine prelude. Last chance. I offered. Her green eyes, wait.
No.
In my body now, brown ones pleading.
Fuck you, she spat.
My mouth. Venomous. Rift tore. Agony electric. Essences wrenching like roots from clay. Flashes. Her childhood abandonments. Foster homes cold as this concrete. My lab triumphs. Marcus's betrayal kiss. Bleed happened, memories mingling, her poetry reciting in my head, my neural maps sketching hers. Snap. Back. I gasped in my skin, Elena's. Home, lungs expanding true. Riley slumped opposite, her freckles pale, eyes vacant.
What?
Where? Welcome back.
Leech.
But triumph soured, her echoes lingered. Doubts like tinnitus. Feds hit then, tip off, betrayal's echo, swap breaching, flashes blinding. Jack's covered. Shots cracking, non-fatal. His code, but chaos reigned. I bolted with Riley's body in tow. No, mine now. Hauling her limp form to the van. Escape narrow, tires screeching onto I-94. Blues in mirrors fading. Hideout. Jax's cousin's farm in Indiana. Cornfields hiding sins. There. Nursing wounds, stitches from a vet kit. Whiskey for the soul bleed. I piece the endgame. Marcus in county lockup. Awaiting arraignment. Leaks forcing trials. But Riley? Loose end. Her mind frayed. Mumbling code like Tourette's. Controversial cap. Mercy kill or cage. As thunder rolled prairie skies. Lightning etching doubts. I chose the cage, padded room in a podunk clinic. Amnesia patient, her whispers silenced by meds. But her bleed in me? Poetry versus hijacking equations. Softening edges. Gift or curse? Twist shadow loomed. Marcus's grin from the pier. Riley's the architect. But deeper dig, final drive fragment, revealed the reversal. My tweak wasn't folly, it was sabotage. Riley dosed my coffee that night, hallucinogen to fuzz judgment, forcing the override. Marcus? Dupe. Her lover, but her pawn. Eclipse her blueprint for a shadow syndicate beyond him. Betrayal's Mobius. I'd borne her crime. Framed for her madness. Vengeance circled back, me. The vessel of her sins. Rebuilt in fractured light. Corn's silk whispered secrets as Indiana dawn bled gold over the farm. Roosters crowing judgment on our makeshift exile. I woke in the loft, hay-scented cot. Riley's echoes murmuring haiku in my skull, Marcus's borrowed Glock heavy on the nightstand. Jack snored below. Bandaged arms slung. His crew scattered to winds, some to Canada borders. Others underground rails to coasts. The reversal held. My body mine. But the bleed? A low hum. Her whimsy tinting my steel. Sudden urges to sketch skylines instead of schematics. Laughter bubbling at absurdities like fireflies in jars. Riley stirred in the root cellar. Padded with blankets against chill. Her eyes green. Vacant, flickering recognition.
Elena.
It hurts. The empty. Good, I said.
No pity.
Handing water through bars Jack's welded hasty. Hollow's what you dealt, souls scooped for sport. She sipped. Trembling. My old strength leached. Leaving a wisp. Trials beckoned. But first, closure. We drove back under cover of lunch rush crawl. Van low profile. Crossing state lines like thieves. Chicago greeted with horns and haze. The loop a cauldron of fallout. Protesters clogging Michigan Avenue. Signs scrawled, souls aren't stock. Counterchants from Innovatech shills yelling, fake news. My face, Elena's, plastered on newsstands. Whistleblower or witch. Subways buzz theories. Barbershops dissected like Sunday roasts. Controversial coda. Testify or vanish. Jax pushed court. Nail the bastard. Vasquez. America's circus needs lions. But bleed whispered flight. New life. Untainted. Perhaps Seattle rains washing slates. I chose arena, flaws and all. Booking deposition at the Dirksen. Federal Hive. Prep was purgatory. Lawyers pro bono from ACLU. Sifting leaks into timelines. My tweak? Recast. Riley's dosing proved sabotage.
Lock.port hop.
Eclipse's victims testified via video. Ghostly feeds from safe houses. Maria Gonzalez's voice cracking on lost years. Jamal's measured rage. Marcus's daughter.
Tin phai burn.
Leaked more. Daddy's therapy sessions on her. Partial imprints of strangers' fears. He said it was love. She sobbed in affidavits. Twisting knives deeper. Court day dawned muggy. July heat wave steaming streets. Dirksen's halls echoed heels and whispers. Reporters mobbing like gulls. I strode in pencil skirt and blouse. Abuela's pearls for armor. Facing the bench. Judge stern as granite. Prosecutors sharks in suits. Marcus opposite. Orange jumpsuit clashing his tan. Eyes locked on me like unfinished business. Riley, extradited witness. Medicated haze. Wheeled in restraints. Testimony torrent. My swap. The files.
The raid. DR.
Hale and MS. Kane weaponized trust. I stated. Voice steady despite bleed's poetic lilt. They stole essences, erased lives for profit. I bore the blame. My name the scapegoat. Because I trusted. Cross-exam. Marcus's counsel. Slick as oil. Painted me unstable. MS. Vasquez. Your tweak. Admitted ambition. Hallucinations? Motive for fabrication. Bleed surged, Riley's defiance flaring. Ambition? Try survival. Your client's dosing made me tweak. Toxicology backs it. Gasps rippled. Exhibits flashed. Lab reports. Her coffee cup residue. Riley's turn. Fragile. She unraveled.
I.
Built it. Eclipse. Elena was collateral brilliant. Blind. The swap? Test run. Marcus funded. But I coded the abyss. Whimpers cut her. Medic intervened. Jury leaned. Faces maps of doubt. Climax crested recess. Hallway ambush. Marcus shuttled past. Snarling close. You think you won? The syndicate levs. Riley's ghost network. Shadows in D.C. Spit flecked my cheek. His breath scotch-soured. Syndicate. I pressed. Guards tense. Your daughter's testifying against you. Game over. His laugh echoed marble. Daughter's mine, implanted loyalty. Watch. Twist detonated post-lunch. Bombshell motion. Riley's confession recanted. Claiming coercion. My raids kidnapping. Evidence? Forged vids. Deepfake me in Riley's body barking orders. Chaos. Judge gavels thundering. Sidebar huddles. Bleed howled, her cunning. My fury. Controversial gambit. I demanded live reversal demo. Riggs hauled from evidence lockup. Prove it here. Swap back the truth. Court balked. Circus act. But public clamor forced. Sealed chamber. Experts monitoring. Strapped in me and a volunteer. Neutral psych tech hum built. Rift flickering sans full power.
No swap.
But echo. Flashes of Marcus's mind. Leaked via connection visions of boardrooms. Riley directing from shadows. A cabal of venture vamps, tech moguls, Pauls, even a general with stars. It broke him. Marcus cracked on stand. She played us, Riley. The spider. Eclipse was her web, I spun silk. Tears real, As syndicate names tumbled, arrests rippling nationwide, headlines screaming soul trade empire crumbles, verdicts Marcus life,
No parole, conspiraci.
manslaughter stacks. Riley, insanity plea, Bellevue bound, her web unraveled in therapy transcripts.
Me,
Cleared, medals from feds, book deals knocking. But victory's veneer cracked, bleed permanent. Her essence a tenant, nights scripting verse over formulas, days questioning if Elena's grit was ever pure, or just her spark stolen. Ending? You debate. I rebuilt in Pilsen, clinic for neural trauma, helping the haunted reclaim selves. Parents visited, Mija. Proud tears, abuela's tamales healing more than wounds. Jack's, farmstead in Wisconsin, brewing craft IPAs with vet buddies. Toasts to ghosts. Happy? In fragments. Tragic? In the mirrors, where Riley's green flickers brown. Revenge? A swap itself stole their peace.
gifted mine unese.
America, land of second chances, or endless echoes. As Lake Michigan mirrors sunsets, I walk shores, whole yet halved, whispering to winds, was it worth the soul's divide?